You can call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
Matt Schnell takes on Jimmy Flick this Saturday at UFC Fight Night Kansas City. And this is a good fight in the flyweight division between two guys, who have a lot of MMA experience, really good careers, but they're both in desperate need of a win at this point. 34 or 35 years old, haven't had the most success in their careers as of late. So Jimmy Flick, he's 34 years old, 5'7", with a 68-inch reach and a 17-8 record. Initially came into the UFC off the Dana White's Contender Series with a submission win, made his debut against Cody Durden in 2020 and won that fight by flying triangle choke. Since then, took about 2 years off, made his return to the UFC and has gone 1-3. So not the best record as of late. Granted, he did lose to Charles Johnson, Alessandro Costa, and Nate Maness with his single win coming against Malcolm Gordon in a fight that he was kind of losing before he wasn't. Matt Schnell, another guy that I've been watching for a long time. He was on that MTV series back in the day, so been around the game for a long time. 35 years old, 5'8", with a 70-inch reach, so he's going to have a 1-inch height and 2-inch reach advantage in this fight against Jimmy Flick, which I think is going to play a big role here. So Matt Schnell coming off of 3 straight losses. I think he might have even retired in his last fight against Cody Durden. So he is 1-4 in his last several appearances in the UFC, stemming back to 2022. Granted, it's to very good fighters from Brandon Royval, Mateus Nicolau, Steve Erceg, and Cody Durden, who I think is underrated. So Matt Schnell, he again fought very high level fighters in his career. Been kind of fighting the who's who of the division. Alexandre Pantoja back in 2019 as well, lost that one by KO, but very good striker. He even wobbled Pantoja in their fight. Very fast hands, good combinations, good counters, feints well. He's a dog. He's a very tough guy. He's willing to get in there and bite down on his mouthpiece and get after it. Doesn't really shy away from a fist fight. Will stand in the pocket in exchange. But it doesn't always work out for him because he has 5 KO losses as of late, knocked out by Pantoja, Nicolau, Erceg put him out bad, and makes you really concerned about where is his chin at now with taking so much damage in his career, being 35 years old. But his chin was holding up in his fight with Cody Durden. That was a really good fight, back and forth. He was having a lot of success on the feet. Made a dumb decision shooting a takedown in the second round when he didn't need to. He was, like I said, he potentially winning the fight on the feet, keeping it standing. I don't know why he shot that takedown, kind of a low IQ move. So taking on Jimmy Flick, where he should not be shooting takedowns. Jimmy Flick's a wrestler, been wrestling since like 3 years old. Always looking to get to the fight to the ground. If he doesn't get the fight to the ground, good chances are he's not going to win. So has decent kicks, but very susceptible to leg kicks. We saw that in his fight with Alessandro Costa, was just getting dropped by leg kicks. So doesn't move his head well. Just also has 6 KO TKO losses in his career. So both of these guys are rather chinny, but I gotta lean towards Matt Schnell in this one. I understand that he hasn't looked the best as of late. Foe retired in his last fight, but now he's coming back. He's 35 years old, not a lot of momentum, but I think he'll be able to keep this on the feet, and I think he's light years ahead of Jimmy Flick in terms of striking and athleticism and just overall fighting potential. Flick's going to be looking to desperately get this one to the ground to get takedowns, but he's only got like 21% accuracy on his takedowns, and I don't know how well he'll do against Schnell there. I think Schnell will be able to keep the distance and get a lot of respect on the feet and keep him back and be able to defend takedowns if he does come in. And Schnell's no slouch on the ground either. He's got a lot of submissions to his own right in his career. So if Flick can't get it to the ground and get the submission or just control and win rounds that way, he's not going to win this fight. I think Schnell will be eating up his legs with his calf kicks. Like I said earlier, he doesn't really check kicks. We've seen that in his career. Against Charles Johnson, was getting dropped and just battered by Alessandro Costa in their fight, and he's just there to be hit. He doesn't really move his head well. Doesn't have a lot of movement at all. You can tell the entire time he's on the feet, he's just kind of looking at how can I get this to the ground versus, setting traps or looking to cut angles on people. I think Schnell's just the better all-around fighter. I think he's more athletic, more explosive. He can finish the fight anywhere goes. He's just got more ways to win. He could catch Flick on the ground. He could ground and pound him. He can catch him on the feet. And I just think he's going to be too quick. His movement's too good for Flick to find him on the feet with punches or a takedown. They're both getting up there in age as well. But Flick looks like he's up there in age. Whereas Matt Schnell, you know, if Matt Schnell had a better chin, you know, I feel like he obviously he would have a lot better success. But if he just had a little bit better of a chin, I feel like a lot of these fights that haven't gone his way would. Like, he was having a lot of success and hanging in there with Steve Erceg before he got KO'd. The fight with Cody Durden, I mean, he was getting the better of Cody Durden. I would argue he won round 1. I don't know why he shot in round 2. But Metalis Nicolau, you know, doing well in that fight. Sumaderji was getting hurt, but was able to rally and come back and get the submission. Even Pantoja, like I said, hanging in there on the feet, rocked him before he was caught and faceplant knocked out. But I feel like Matt Schnell is he's one of those guys in MMA where you just wonder what he could have been, because he is very skilled, he's very tenacious and tough and exciting, and he's willing to put it all on the line. Obviously, he doesn't go out there and play safe. He doesn't go out there worrying about his chin. He's out there to either, you know, get put out or to put you out, and I respect the hell out of that. And I just think he's the much better fighter than Jimmy Flick. I think he's going to probably get the TKO over Jimmy Flick, or win this one by decision. Thanks.